Hey everybody, greetings and salutations. This is the part where I'm supposed to do a really cute little intro about how I'm Mistress Becca and I'm cracking the golden novelty whip of sexiness now that court is in session. But I forgot that one of the problems when you're a cat owner and you have a lot of sex toys is that many sex toys have dangling components. And my beloved Batman, he just couldn't say no to my whip. And now it's like I've incorporated sex with my cat, and that's not a good thing. So we'll just drop that. Hi, hello, greetings, salutations. Happy Tuesday, January 15th. If you're here, it's because you know who I am, or because this randomly popped up on your Facebook feed. Who's to know how Zuck and his algorithms work? If you are new to the show, welcome. If you're a familiar face, get the fuck out. No, I'm kidding. It's really good to have you here. The show, it's called Becca After Dark. And who is Becca? Becca is me. Becca is a freelance internet writer. I write a lot about love, sex, and dating, but I am not a psychiatrist, a psychologist, social worker, a therapist, a priest. I'm also not a brain surgeon, but that's kind of irrelevant to what we're talking about here now. This show comes on once a week, every Tuesday at 8 p.m., and I answer your questions about love, sex, and dating using my humor, wit, resources, and occasional Googling to be the best objective third party that you could ever, dare to dream of. So in order to get the show going, we actually need you guys to start asking questions. And you can do that in one of two ways. The first way you can ask a question is by ever so simply just putting it here in the comments. My producer, Rob, who I'm sleeping with because we're in a committed relationship, he'll make sure that he puts your question on a sheet that I will read to myself and then hopefully out loud to all of you. If you have a question that's kind of too personal and you don't want everyone at your office knowing that you're in a sexual relationship with a dolphin or something, you can still ask your question anonymously. If you have a question and you would like me to tackle it anonymously, I will tackle it away, unless it's a dolphin, because you shouldn't tackle dolphins. You can send those questions to this very Facebook page. That's right, facebook.com/Becca After Dark, where I will hide your identity and tell you that what you're doing with a dolphin is probably wrong. Okay, so we're all here. Everyone, I presume, is checking in. So why don't I go over to my handy-dandy sheet and check in with all of you beautiful people. Oh, crack, now that the cat's not here. He's just not paying as much attention now that he realizes he's not going to be cuddled for a solid 45 minutes. Da, 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 da. It looks like maybe my producer forgot that it was time to do the show. This is going to be good. I'm going to give him a call. Let's see. This is going to be really good, actually. Well, that's FaceTime. I'll just call him on mobile because I don't want to put him totally on blast. Come do the show with me. It's okay. You're on the air, though. Okay, great. Bye. Rob's alarm didn't go off, but he's coming online to do the show right now. And frankly, I think that was a very compelling 10 to 15 seconds of content. I realize now I probably should put him on speaker, but he said, when I said, come do the show with me, he said, oh shit, my alarm didn't go off. So Rob will be here soon. Until he is, why don't I tell you guys all the shit that you should do if you like the show? We'll just get that out of the way. You should like my Facebook page. You should invite your friends to like my Facebook page. You should send this Facebook page to everyone who you love and admire and have them like it. And if you like this video, you should like it and comment on it and like, and click and share. Can I be real? I don't give a fuck about that. And it gets deeply boring trying to compel people who are already watching a show to keep watching it. Frankly, if you're watching the show now, you're a fan of the show, and I shouldn't have to tell you how to use social media. Man, maybe I should just stop doing that and find other ways to get new people to watch my show. Did I just create a revolution in advertising? I may have. Only time and tide will tell. Let's check in with some of you fine folks. Well, actually, let me see if Rob is here. It looks like he's here. He's getting all signed in. Rob, I'm going to go to the very top, and I'm going to say hello to a couple of people. I hope that doesn't mess with your system. Summer Gilmore is in the house saying, hi, Becca, Batman, Rob, and everyone. Summer Gilmore, we're also pleased that you are here. You see a little Batman's ear of happiness. Thank you for checking in. We have Mahal Lagora saying, hi, Becca. Hi, everyone. Greetings from Miami. True story, Mahal. I'm thinking about going to Miami at some point in the early spring to like kind of get a little Becca solo getaway time. Let me know about any hot places I should hit up. You should also know that I'm not a club person. Surprise to no one. Silas Young is checking in saying, hi from Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. Canada, Justin Trudeau, maple syrup, good manners. Also Margaret Atwood. That's my Canada song. Every once in a while, a foreign nation that appears on the who makes himself known on the show gets a shout out, and that was one of them. Oh, Rob, by the way, you got to go back and watch the beginning of the show because I was friggin' on fire. I'm still on fire, but you missed the first part of the fire, which is critical. Karen Bear Hugel is checking in saying, hello, how was your day? Karen, my day's pretty good. I'm feeling a little crazy because I worked from home both today and yesterday, which means that like I haven't had a lot of contact with what you might call real people. So it's good to be talking to you all, and I weirdly cannot wait to go to work tomorrow. Lindsay Dare Pritchard is here saying, hi, Becca. Haven't watched in forever and so glad you came across my feed. Lindsay, when Mark Zuckerberg smiles upon me, he smiles upon us all. And I'm glad it's worked out in your favor here. Vicky Marie Perez is here saying, hey, Becca and Rob and everyone else. Did I read that already? No, it's just that Summer said the same thing. Kind of, a hi versus a hey. Lovely to hear from you. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead. We don't have any new questions from today's episode, and I would really like going forward to only be answering questions live for people who are here. No, wait, we have a question coming in. Our first question today comes from an anonymous woman. An anonymous woman says, do vaginal weights actually work? Short answer. I looked over like there was a camera here. There's not. I've been playing a lot of virtual reality games. Short answer to that question, yeah, they totally work. Your vagina is muscular. It is a muscle. And like most muscles, it responds well to training. Also, you shouldn't overwork it. Also, you should probably look up what you're doing before you start doing it. And by look up, I don't mean read one random Daily Mail story about a woman who can drag tractor trailer trucks with a snatch. That's not research. That's just a good read. There are a couple of different reasons why people try vaginal weightlifting. The primary reason is to make their vagina tighter for a man's dick and for their own sexual enjoyment. I'm gonna stop you right now, and if anyone here is watching this thinking like, oh, I have to start doing vagina weightlifting because my vaginal cave is not giving a man as much pleasure as it could, that's a terrible reason to start weight training your vag. Your vagina is beautiful. Well, you know what? Let's cut through this shit. Vaginas are kind of fucking gnarly to look at if you're a straight woman. You're like, this is mine, so I have to deal with it. I will familiarize myself with its various folds. I will accept the fact that it has odors and discharge. But other than that, I'm not really going to think about it, especially when someone's eating me out, where I will fail to enjoy being eaten out because I will be thinking about how whack my vagina is. Vaginas are kind of funky. They're kind of weird, but they're also kind of majestic. They clean themselves. They're incredibly strong. In fact, I would say they're so strong, for the most part, you don't need to be doing vaginal training exercises unless you're doing something like trying to bounce back from vaginal prolapse. Vaginal prolapse is when your vagina falls out. Now, I hear you asking me, how can a hole fall out? I want you to really think about female anatomy. Your vagina can fall out, and that's terrible. Vaginal weight training is also something women do if they are suffering from incontinence. I would say, honestly, the benefits that you're going to get from vaginal weight training, unless you're doing it in like a kink, fetish, sexy, or like ultra competitive world of vaginal weightlifting that I don't know enough about to comment on, fuck all that. Just go ahead and do Kegel exercises. I'm doing Kegels right now. I do Kegels during every show. I actually don't because I get really distracted when I do Kegels. But Kegels are when you contract and then release the muscles in your pelvic floor. It kind of feels like you're trying to hold in your pee and then release it, only don't pee. That's kind of a guideline. So if what you're looking for is to make sure your vagina is healthy and happy, do some Kegels. But I wouldn't say do any sort of vaginal weight training unless a doctor is talking to you about it, unless it's a kink that you're into at all. And also before you tackle any of this shit, remember, who the fuck cares how loose your pussy is? If it's loose because you've pushed a child out into this world, you can fucking deal. There are other holes. Bum, bum, bum. That is my answer to the first question for this evening. Let's see what else we got going on if people are checking in, if they're, to both, yes. Kimberly Lou Lumley, a longtime watcher in the house. Hi, Kimberly, says, hey there, Miss Becca. Use Twitter to promote the show. I bet Vegas money it would double the numbers. P.S. Thank you for not being on at 9 p.m. Eastern because This Is Us is on then. Girl, I have my television priorities too. To be honest, the show changed was mainly because I was on the verge of having a nervous breakdown from being up all the time. So doing it slightly earlier in the evening works out for me too. Yeah, maybe I'll try Twitter. I don't know. I have a verified Twitter account. Not bragging, but totally bragging. So yeah, maybe I'll give it a shot. The last time I paid to do like a promotion on Twitter to promote a show, I got a bunch of really random like anti-feminist men using like soccer avatars to say terrible things about me. So I don't know. I'm skeptical, but I'll consider it. Carol Brown is checking in saying, Becca! Hi, gorgeous. How y'all doing? Hi, gorgeous, right back at you. Carol, doing great. I've got a cat on my right and a cat on my left and a whole world full of Becca After Dark viewers in front of me, so things couldn't be better. Guys, if you're just tuning in, this is a show where I answer your questions about love, sex, and dating, and in order to do that, I need questions. If you have one, go ahead and put it here in the comments. If you want it to be kept a secret because you would rather the world not know about your business, you can still have questions submitted anonymously, and the way to do that is to go, don't you close my laptop with your face, Batman. The way to do that is to go to facebook.com/Becca After Dark. Presumably there's a pinned remark up there somewhere, and Rob has pinned all that intel. If you missed it and you sign in, because this isn't a movie, you won't sign in right when I'm giving you all the relevant info. Okay, our next question comes from an anonymous woman. Hold on to your butts, guys. This is a long one. In fact, I'm going to take a sip of water. I should also say, I don't read these questions before we go on the air because they're being asked live. So sometimes I make mistakes. Delicious water. Ooh. You know when you drink really cold water and you can like kind of feel it in your tits? Is that like, maybe that's just me. Anyway, give me a heart sign if you also feel cold water in your tits when you drink it. Our next question is from an anonymous woman who says, hi, Becca, Happy New Year and holidays / all of the above to you and your family and friends. I got on Facebook in October because I got a job in production working in film and had to sign a bunch of NDAs. And in person and through text, I'm very careful. But something about Facebook and the people on here, big generalization, of course, makes me have no impulse control. Oh my God, I love this person. I want to be their friend. There's more. I'm not used to the troll era. Girl, preach. I really did enjoy your show and have continued to support you on Patreon, which is the least I can do for any artist. Sidebar, I'm not on Patreon anymore. It didn't seem like the best use of my time, skills, and abilities, and I wanted to give the people who were backing me like more than I could give them. So I'm actually not doing Patreon anymore. I don't know if I'll do it in the future. Maybe, I'll think about it. If you guys want to give me money, go ahead, right? I don't know. Which is the least I can do for any. I got back on Facebook last month, I believe for like half a second, and I just couldn't handle it. I got in a fight with a dog breeder for being immoral and having an illegal business selling live animals on Facebook. And I called her stupid for putting her cell number on a public Facebook site. Oops, that was stupid. So that was the end of Facebook for me, lol. Which finally brings me to my point. Is there a way people can subscribe to see you without Facebook? Maybe YouTube. I know you did that before, but they were older videos. Isn't there another option? Then I guess we'll have to get an account with no friends and just follow you and some bands, no dog breeders. I don't even know how she showed up in my feed. Anyway, please let me know because watching your show again was part of my New Year's resolution. I just feel better when I listen to you and your confidence. Rant done. Much love to you both. Anonymous woman wants to know, is there a way I can watch your show without having a Facebook account? Right now, I think no. I don't think you need to log into Facebook to watch the videos if they're sent to you directly. But really, yeah, I know I should be prioritizing YouTube. I just haven't done it yet. And I was doing it for a while, but it took a lot of work. But that's so fucking lazy. I'm going to consider putting my videos back on Facebook again. I mean, on YouTube again. I'm going to consider it. But I'm not going to do the whole back catalog of every show because that would take me the rest of my life. I have things to do. If you knock over that lamp, I'm throwing you on the highway. Okay, that seemed to do the trick. He sat right down. So for now, no. But I think if you just go to facebook.com/Becca After Dark, I feel like they let you look at stuff, right, without logging in because it's a public thing. I don't know, man. You're right. We got to get out of Facebook. It's the worst. And kudos to you for calling out people selling dogs on the internet because that's fucked up. Okay. Checking in with more people. Apparently, I got a lot of hearts for tits and water. That makes me feel less weird. Thanks, guys. Our next question comes from an anonymous woman who says, my first question of 2019 is, how do you go from a monogamous relationship to an open relationship? How can I help my partner be comfortable with the idea of a poly-open relationship? I'm planning to bring up the idea for the first time tomorrow with him. Okay, so there's two parts to this question. How do you go from being monogamous to polyamorous? And how do you go from being, and how do you get your partner comfortable with that idea? So let's talk a little bit about this. To go from being monogamous to go from to being polyamorous is probably slightly more complicated than most people think. That's because most people think that just dating one person is a lot of work, but when you're dating many people, it's got to be a whole lot less work, a whole lot more fun, and a whole lot more sex. Well, sometimes some of those things can be true. It's not universally the case, because if you're going to have a healthy, functioning, long-lasting relationship with anyone, regardless of how many of those relationships you have to be like honest and open and caring and considerate. And a lot of people can't manage that with even one person. So I think that it's a bit naive to think, as some people do, that going into polyamory is going to be a lot easier. Jealousy is a major issue for a lot of people. It has not been a part of my experience, which is interesting because I think it's a testimony to how good my experience in polyamory has been. Namely that I was with a person who made me feel loved and respected, and I didn't view their relationship with anyone else to take away from what we had, if that makes sense. I think that, so those are things you really have to worry about. Do you have the time, and be aware that commitment and jealousy are going to be big issues. I think when talking to your partner, you need to have a good understanding of what you're looking for in transitioning your relationship from being monogamous to polyamorous. Are you looking for more sex? Are you looking for more intimacy? Are you looking outside of the relationship because you're not getting something internally? These are questions you should be able to answer. And you should be able to communicate what you want to your partner in such a way as so that they don't feel like a pile of steaming old shit. It's kind of hard to hear from anyone, no matter what their reason, that like you want to invite other people into your relationship, no matter how evolved, oh, there's Margot behind me. No matter how evolved you are, you're going to have like a person, your initial reaction to hearing like, hey, can we have more people in this relationship is going to be, oh, because I'm not enough. I think by and large. So I think you have to be prepared to, I think rather than your first conversation being about making your relationship polyamorous, it should be a conversation about how you are evolving as a person. And I think rather than talking about bringing in people, talk about love and your perceptions of love. Because polyamorous people don't perceive love, good polyamorous people don't perceive love as something finite. They perceive it as being an endless resource, and they love making connections with people and finding love itself. And I think that's what you should talk about. I think you should talk about what's interesting about polyamory to you before you even begin to bring your relationship into it. I think you should also let your partner know that part of the reason you feel so comfortable exploring these things is because they've made you feel safe, loved, cherished. Of course, this all goes with the caveat of you're in this for the right reasons. You're not in it because you're not getting something in your relationship. If you are not getting something in your relationship, inviting more people into it is a terrible idea. It's like if you've made an elaborate dinner for a special friend and all of a sudden like the buns are on fire, you realize that the meat you bought is bad. You wouldn't stop and go, I know how to fix this. I'm going to invite over 6 more people. No, because that would be insane. Instead, you address the problems. You either dump the food, you cook something from scratch, you order out, you work out what's going on between the two of you. You don't add more people to the mess. That was really good. And that's basically what I have to say. Yeah, so in terms of addressing it to your partner, don't make it about making you guys polyamorous, make it about your identity as a person in the world who exists and loves others. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. I feel like it did-ish. If you're just tuning in, hey, I'm a quasi-expert on all things sex, love, and dating, and my name is Becca. I have no actual, credentials, but it's always good to have an objective third party in your life every now and then. And that's what I strive to do every Tuesday at 8 p.m. If you have a question about sex, love, or dating, put it here in the comments. If you have a question about sex, love, or dating, and you would like to keep your identity anonymous, you can submit your questions to me at this very page, facebook.com/Becca After Dark, where your identity will be concealed unless you tell us where a body is. You've been warned. Penny Zito Bloom is checking in saying, hello to you, my beautiful Becca. Hello, Penny. I'm so glad to see you. Happy New Year. Meredith Robertson is here saying, missed you, Becca. Glad to see you. Meredith, I missed you too, and I'm very glad to be back. We got my girl from Rhode Island, Gina Colon, saying, hey, Becca cutie. Oh, hello, Gina cutie. We have another question from an anonymous woman. We've got about 20 minutes left in the show. So if you have a question that you're thinking on sitting on till the end, don't put it in the comments now if you want to get it answered. This question from an anonymous woman. Hi, Becca. Love you and your show. Watching you from Lebanon. Oh, Lebanon. Fabulous. I have far less funny, quirky things to say about Lebanon than I do about Canada, which goes to show you that I'm not as well educated as I should be. My boyfriend and I broke up a few days ago, and he accuses me of making problems from nothing. He isn't able to talk when there's something wrong, or if I want to tell him about something that's bothering me in our relationship, or something he did and says that he doesn't want these headaches. I'm glad you guys broke up. He says things to me that I cannot accept, that I'm like a possessed girl if I'm annoyed, or always trying to make me seem like I'm crazy. Girl in Lebanon, I hate your ex-boyfriend. And then saying this is just a joke. But of course, these are just a few examples. Even though this may not seem like a huge issue, is it something worth considering for me? Because I cannot talk to him about what bothers me at all. My question is, how important is this in a relationship? How important is this in a relationship? And in case he wants the relationship back, like what happened 2 times before. Oh, okay. Is it worth going back knowing that things won't change? Every once in a while, we get a question asked on the show where I feel like the question asker figures out the answer in the process of writing out the question. And that's kind of something that I feel like happened here. There is such a good thing as good fighting and bad fighting. I think couples in healthy relationships inevitably fight with each other really, really well because they're both fighting for the same thing. They're both on the same team and trying to achieve the same goal. They're just coming at it with different perspectives. Bad fighting is when a guy just has to gaslight you. And gaslighting is a term that we use for when men try to make you feel like you're crazy when you're not. It's based on a noir era movie called Gaslight, where that happens. There's also a movie called What Lies Beneath that is kind of a ripoff of Gaslight that you may have seen. So gaslighting is making a woman feel like she's crazy when she's not. The guy you're dating is a bad guy who doesn't care about you or your feelings on a deep level in any sort of lasting way. And you're stuck in that shitty cycle of being like, okay, but there are things about him I like. Sometimes things are okay. Should I make this work? What if we get back? No, fuck this. End the cycle now. You're smart. You're strong. You're intelligent, which is the same thing as smart, but just a synonym. And you know that the way he's treating you isn't right. And you know, and you said in your own question that he doesn't have any intentions to change his behavior. I just got deeply congested all of a sudden. I may run out in a minute and get a tissue. Yeah. No, you don't need, it's really important in a relationship that you guys learn how to fight well. It's really important in a relationship that you learn that when you're upset and frustrated, it doesn't do any good to lash out at the other person or to belittle and demean them. I think it's important that you, did you guys hear that? Thumbs up if you heard that. It's my roommate laughing very loudly in the basement. I keep my roommate in the basement. Yeah, you don't get back together with this guy. Get together with someone who, even when you fight, you know things are going to work out because he loves, trusts, and respects you. This guy doesn't do any of those things. And I think he can do much better. Oh, I got an angry face there, weirdly. Someone's like, no, stay with your shitty boyfriend. Hold on, entertain yourselves while I give tissue. I told you I'd be back. I came back. It didn't take me very long. The bottoms of my feet are very sweaty. How strange. Okay, my nose is cleared. I'm here. I am returned to continue to answer your question. To continue to. Yeah, okay, that was correct. Paul Reed is here. Hi, Paul. Longtime watcher Paul Reed says, good morning, Becca. Good evening, Paul. It's good to see you, albeit at a little bit earlier for me as well. Our next question comes from Lindsay Dare Pritchard, who says, what do you do when you're totally done with dating, but also really want to find someone? I've tried every dating app, tried meeting people naturally. None of it has been particularly successful. Any unconventional suggestions? I feel stuck. Well, I'll give you the truthful answer and then I'll give you the funny answer. The truthful answer is stop looking. Sure, keep your dating stuff active, but don't go out searching for dudes. Let them reach out to you. Stop looking around you for someone who you want to date and focus on the rest of your life. Because I swear to God, as soon as you stop focusing, look, my hands are in my sweater now. Yeah. As soon as you stop focusing on finding that person and talking about how ready you are to meet someone, it's legit when it happens. And it's such an annoying thing to hear as a single person. And as a person who spent most of my life single, I can tell you, people said it to me ad nauseum. The fact that I'm saying it here now is deeply annoying, but also proof that I believe what I'm saying. Stop looking. And now, unconventional places where you can meet people to date. Go to one of those cat cafes where they got all them cats up for adoption that were just running around, hand a banana and get a cup of coffee and sit there and play with cats. Best case scenario, hot guy walks in, who's single, who loves cats. You guys strike up an amazing rapport, have the best meet cute story of all time. Worst case scenario, you play with some cats. There is not a loser here. Other places where you could meet at candy shop, same thing, but with candy. Same thing as the cat store, but with candy. Oh, I got too excited thinking about candy. Quit your job, start a new job someplace where all the guys are really hot, and then maybe work your way through all the guys at the office, and then quit that job and go back to your other job. That'd involve a lot of drama, and you would have to have a significant amount of savings financially. Go to church. Are you religious? Doesn't matter. Go to church. There's always creepy single men at church who are deeply depressed and repressed about their own homosexuality and looking for women to marry. So you could do that. But I say stop. Don't do anything. Just live your best life. Whip crack. Oh my God, I almost hit myself in the face. Yeah, this is my whip. Don't do any of that. Focus on you and the things that you love other than dudes and dick. Yeah, sure, get laid every once in a while if you want by going out on a new date with a new first date with someone fuckable, but don't make meeting a person your priority, and that is when you will. I don't know why I ended that with song. Interesting choice, Rebecca. Interesting choice. Jessica Friedlander is here saying, OMG, it's been months since I've been able to catch a live show, and I love you, and your hair is especially cute today. Thank you, Jess. I'm glad you're here. It's been a million years. I have so many things to tell you. So many things to tell you about how broken I am, and you know why. Okay, our next Jess and I used to be coworkers. I'll say no more. Our next question, and presumably this is going to be the last question of the evening if I don't get any more new questions before 8:45. The topic, gynecologists. I have seen male and female gynecologists in the past, but due to scheduling conflicts, I saw a new male gyno. Well, I was not happy with the exam. Whoa. He didn't have any rapport or bedside manner, and it took him less than a few minutes. He told me to get my clothes on and meet me in his office. Once in his office, he didn't say much about the exam. asked me if I was diabetic, discredited my doctor for putting me on water pills, and then told me he's got a friend that has a business that would be covered by my insurance and I could lose 40 pounds in 30 days, and then didn't really let me ask any questions about why I was even there. And before I left, he handed me a pamphlet for his friend's business, and that was it. Am I right to be offended? I don't want to go back to see him. Your thoughts on male-female gynos are... This is not a male-female gyno issue. The male-female gyno issue is very simple. Go with whoever makes you feel comfortable. Male or female, if a person is supposed to be addressing your reproductive organs and they make you feel uncomfortable, it's not going to work. So find someone who does make you feel comfortable. But let's go back to the fact that your friend, that this male gynecologist, probably he was fat shaming you, just so you know, by repeatedly asking you if you're diabetic and suggesting a service for you to lose weight that his friend is running. He spotted you as someone who he could get money from through his friend, I'm sure. He dismissed a lot of your health needs because you are a fat person or even just slightly overweight. And he sounds like a total scam artist. You should probably report. I would say call, if it's part of a practice, if he's a member of a practice, I say talk to one of the managing partners at that practice and file a complaint with them. And then I say go like Google how to report bad doctors, Google to report like unethical doctoral treatment, because that's something that should be reported. And I don't think Consumer Reports is the right avenue. The last thing your doctor should be doing is trying to sell you shit that their friend is about. And any person who's a doctor who tells you it's healthy to lose 40 pounds in 30 days is not a doctor you should trust. If a person is interested in losing weight, there is really only one way to do it. There is really only one way, and I'm going to tell you that way right now. To lose weight, eat less of bad things. Eat more of good things and exercise. That's legitimately it. And I say this as a person who's yo-yo dieted their whole life. I've plateaued out as a fat person. And I know that if someday I really, really wanted to be a thin person, I could get through all my emotional shit or cared enough or thought it mattered or it impacted my health and it doesn't, so I'm staying fat. If you want to lose weight in a healthy way, eat less bad shit, eat more good shit, and exercise. Those are the fundamentals. Everything else, except for drinking water, that's also important. And for alternating cardio with anaerobic, with weightlifting. Well, to alternate the days that you're doing anaerobic. I'm not going to get into weight loss. It's garbage. You're all beautiful, and none of you need to lose weight. And it's hot trash that after having your pussy examined, a doctor was like, hey, fatty, join my friend's club. Fuck that guy. I honestly, if I had the money, sue him. Sue his ass for that kind of behavior. Who the fuck does he think he is? This is America. We sue. God, I'd love to be able to sue people. I feel like I have a very litigious heart. Jessica, yes, you do. Okay, I have no new questions remaining for the episode. So I'll give you like 30 seconds to ask a question, and then we're going to cut the show out. Just so you guys know, going forward, the show is scheduled to go from 8 to 8:45. But I really only want to be answering, I don't want to be stretching out the show with questions that people submitted in the past that probably aren't watching or don't know to watch. So I want to make this solely live questions. If we were like at 8 o'clock and I didn't have any new questions, I would pull an old question just to get the show going. But when it's something like this and we're at the end, it doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense. Now let me see if in that interim anyone has asked a question. No. Beautiful. You know what that means? We're all agreed it's the end of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Rebecca Stokes. Becca to you. I'm so glad to have gotten to spend some of your Tuesday night with you answering your questions about love, sex, and dating. If you have a question that strikes you before next Tuesday at 8 p.m., please feel free to go ahead and send it and any and all questions, comments, and concerns to the message box at facebook.com/BeccaAfterDark. Sure to like this video. Blah, blah, blah. I'm on Twitter. I love you. I'll see you next Tuesday. It's funny because it's like cunt. See you next Tuesday.